for the reason that David Brabham is yet to pit. Zinger replay. Watch Todd Kelly on the right of your screen. Tried to make the move on Marcus Ambrose, and it just didn't pay off.
He thought about it late, tried to sneak down there. The gap diminished. They didn't make contact, but he had to jam the brakes up even tighter. That meant the rears locked, and then he just nosed into the bank. No damage done. Fortunately, all the dirt came out of the front of the car, and he's been able to continue, but he's down the order now in 11th.
No.
So if it does get here, it'll be too late for David Brabham. Oh, dear.
That's Todd Kelly again, same corner.
One of the problems will be tucked up underneath other cars. The front brakes will be getting too hot, and now he locks the brakes and does everything he can not to whack the back of Jason Bright's car. So 2 in a row in that spot for Todd Kelly.
And he's looking great into the Ferodo hairpin, and it's a handy lead. But while we're in the commercial break, check this on the Zinger replay.
Yeah, and Scaife just got out of shape very late in the stop, locks the rear brakes. Lowndes had nowhere to go and tagged the front of the car. I suspect that the HRT cars are suffering a little from front brake fade, and the rears are just locking up as a result. And contact between those two cars. Scaife up high here. Did he put the wheels on the white line? He did, but I don't think that's the problem. The car was already out of shape by that point. So he was at the braking limit, and the fronts just weren't pulling it up for some reason. And Lowndes was very lucky there not to encounter more damage on his car.
Set to go for race 2. Tander is on the right, Richards on the left. And a fairly even start. Marcus Ambrose, tremendous start. He gets the jump on Rick Kelly, and it's Tander and Richards arguing. But Garth Tander will lead them into turn 1. It was a clean opening lap yesterday. Will it be the same today?
The HRT cars has gone to the inside of turn 2, tangled up with the tyre barrier down there. Anthony Tratt's gone wide on 2 as well. Great jump from Tander. Richards got through cleanly. Ambrose leapt ahead of Kelly off the line. Someone's in the dirt, one of the Dodo cars, and that's Jamie Whincup. He'll go all the way to the gravel trap there, but it does arrest him. Fortunately, doesn't make contact with the barrier, so big problem there. Car number 33 off. Somebody's tagged McConville on the exit of turn 4, and he's gone right down to the grass where it's wet. It'll be quite difficult to get the car back out of there.
Whincup's day ended at the Ferodo hairpin yesterday, and it looks to be the same today. And there was someone else off in the background with McConville as well. Richards and Bright, and safety car has been deployed, understandably.
Move off now, safety car, just 60 kilometres an hour.
Voice of Tim Sheehan, the race director. Safety car deployed because of the amount of dirt and garbage on the road down there.
With their brake issues, you have a few laps on the safety car as well. So
here we are on board with Mark Scaife, looking to make a way round to the left-hand side of David Bernard. And it was Mark that went down through the inside.
Zinger replay of the start. Watch to the right-hand side of the screen after they all file through. There's the tyre bundle that gets collected.
So the reason for Todd's right rear tyre problem is a bit of a mystery still at this point. So it was Scaife that dragged the tyres out there, and Anthony Tratt ended up running wide. So I suspect that Todd's problem started back here. He's made contact with Jamie Whincup in all this nonsense back in the mid-pack, and Jamie's arrowed down there. The gravel trap did its job.
Neil, we're not sure if he's had Jamie's collected him on the way through here, but you can see by this wheel here where maybe one of these wheel nuts is collected here. It's broken it here, and the tyre's gone down, they're in and out.
And one of the Orcon cars was tangling with McConville there. Didn't actually pick up who that was. It was Bargwana, was it, in the 100 car? If you didn't catch our coverage yesterday, Jason's on his 100th Australian Touring Car Championship event start, and he's also, of all things, got the chicken pox as we look at Anthony Tratt. Clean air, they'll maximise that advantage. 52.7 Stephen Richards, he's down in 15th at the moment. Zinger replay, and this is why Brad Jones and Glenn Seaton, David Bernard got together. And that started from further back in the pack. There was a bit of nudging, and it ended up in these two guys who are actually quite good friends.
they're absolutely doing their best, and it's just kicked off for them, unfortunately, there with Jason.
Zinger replay. Take a look at what happens here between Jason Bargwana, Owen Kelly, and both Larkham Orcon cars, and John Bowe.
It was all a bit clumsy, wasn't it?
Yesterday was a reasonably clean race. This one has been brutal, and this poor guy's weekend is going from bad to worse.
That incident, guys, started a little earlier out of the last turn. Bargwanna had a spin on the front straight, so he's only really gathering himself up then and got caught in the middle of that traffic. But Ambrose...
Such a short little track to it's a replay here.
Zinger replay shows us what? Matthew White in trouble in the Fujitsu Ford. It's a hot spot up at the Ferodo hairpin. Was he taking evasive action not to hit Anthony Tratt there?
I think he was having his own moment before he arrived there, to be honest. Oh.
Now, oddly enough, that's Mark Winterbottom going off on the outside of turn 6 where all that debris was on the road left by his teammate Jason Bargwanna. So tough day for Mark Larkham's outfit. The back of this field, or he didn't finish the race, he's in plenty of trouble.
Zinger replay. What happens here? Ferodo hairpin. Contact between Brabham and David Bernard. And Matthew White's caught in the middle of that also.
Yeah, by that stage it was already happening and a little bit hard to see, but it looks like David may have got into David Brabham, that is, into the back. Total efficiency, great teamwork, getting the job done. Oh dear, Anthony Tratt tagging Jamie Whincup. That's the Zinger replay of that earlier incident that we saw a couple of laps ago.
Anthony will be somewhat frustrated with his run this weekend.
26th race.
Yeah, this is the 27th.
So here's Footcam. We get a lot of positive feedback. People watching this. This is on board with Mark Skate at turn 6. Uses the clutch just for the short shift from 3rd to 4th. Stays in 4th on the rev limiter. Modulates the brake pedal across turns 1 and 2. Carries the brake all the way to the apex of turn 2. Flat shifting to 3rd to 4th to 5th. And uses 6th gear briefly. Look how long he carries the brake pedal for. That car is already a long way around turn 4. We've had a lot of questions, people asking us why do the drivers sometimes use the clutches. When you're going across the gate pattern on the gearbox from 2nd across to 3rd or from 4th across to 5th, sometimes a good practice just to use the clutch, because if you do what we describe as wrong slot, that is get the wrong one, you can retrieve it before you actually pop the clutch up. If you flat shift and you haven't given yourself the option and you come out of 2nd and you miss shift and you grab 1st, and that poor little V8 will do about 10,000 revs and all the valve springs will uncoil and the valves will be about an inch longer and tends to not easy to see out of. Rear view, oh dearie me, and is that
Steve Ellery?
Steve Ellery. Gee, for a minute there I thought it could have been his teammate, but he got well out of shape over the hump at turns 1 and 2. Fortunately not bogged, gets away with it on that occasion. Garth Tander will be doing handsprings. Trouble here for Craig Baird and Owen Kelly. Also at turn 4. This has been a real issue this weekend, and does Stephen Richards, he does get tangled up in all this.
Oh. And Rick Kelly said thank you, slipped through on the inside.
But how did he end up so high and wide? Or was he just thinking that that was the appropriate place to be to get around Craig?
There goes Tander.
I'd love to see a little bit more of that from earlier, because I reckon Rick Kelly was right underneath him at the time anyway. He must have been very, very close to him, so all of a sudden Steve must have been really battling.
It's pretty handy for his championship points. Here's Craig Baird on the right, the WPS Falcon.
Oh, you know what? He didn't realise there was another car on his left. He was just deciding to go left of Garth Tander's car, and he's tripped over the front of Rick Kelly's car.
That was a little awkward,
to say the least.
Yeah. So an interesting end to this race, but what a weekend.